Lone Ranger. The Lone Ranger.
There you are, my friends, the perfect match. One, a genuine $20 bill. The other, a genuine Dumont original. I defy either of you to tell me which is which.
Well, you can't, Chief. It's too good a job.
Uncle Sam himself couldn't tell the difference.
It's taken me 10 years to perfect the process. And now I believe we have the perfect counterfeit bill.
We can't miss with this one.
We'll all go into town. And Bert will have the honor of passing the first of these bills. Al, you go saddle up the horses. We must handle this operation with great care, Bert. I don't want any slip-ups.
There won't be. Not with you handling the thing.
Think of it, my friend. All the money you can ever use. The future looks very exciting.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Dumont. But where you're going, the future won't be very exciting. At last reports, the living conditions in our federal prisons are not exactly to your taste.
Who are you?
The name is Collins, Jim Collins. I'm employed by the United States government.
Treasury man.
That's right, a treasury man assigned to track down a ring of counterfeiters. I've been on your trail a long time, Dumont, and at times it's been tough. But now I'm at the end of it.
Plainly, the game is up, Mr. Collins. The government is too smart for me.
The government's always too smart for your kind, Dumont.
I find it hard to believe that I've finally been caught. Where did I make my mistake?
You have certain eccentricities which makes your trail easy to follow.
What, for instance?
Well, the way you dress, and the way you talk, and that fancy perfume that you use.
That, my friend, is cologne. A very fine cologne.
Well, in any case, it's the sort of thing that people remember.
In short, it's my superior taste that led to my downfall.
Or your vanity, whichever one chooses to call it. Now turn around and put your hands behind your back. You too!
One question, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Did you accomplish this task alone?
Why do you ask?
Well, it's just that I hate to think that I've been outwitted by some local sheriff.
Yes, I did it alone.
Well, that at least is some consolation. To think that I have been caught by the federal government. So the government was too smart for me, was it?
I thought you'd never get here, Al.
Federal man, huh?
Yeah, said he'd been on our trail a long time.
That's bad. That'll ruin all our plans.
I wonder if it will.
With the federal government in our trail, Chief, we're in real trouble.
They're not on our trail at the present moment.
They will be as soon as this fella fails to report.
Sure, they'll send out someone else.
Well, what if Jim Collins continues to report?
You mean we'll do it for him?
Why not? We have all his papers and identification. It should be a very simple matter for me to duplicate his signature.
Say, that's not a bad idea. We could throw him off the track for quite a while that way.
Yeah. That'll give us all the time that we need to pass out this new money.
We can do better than that. We can throw the government off our trail permanently.
Well, how, Chief?
Suppose Dumont is reported dead, and the report is signed by Jim Collins himself.
I get it. You'll change places with him.
Exactly. And when the body of Jim Collins is found and identified as mine, I will be playing the part of Jim Collins.
But that means that you'll have to work with the local authorities.
Why not? They've never seen me before. Nor Jim Collins either.
There's just one thing wrong, Chief.
What's that?
Well, your clothes. You don't exactly look like a government agent.
Well, that's very easily remedied. Well, that patch should cover the bullet hole well enough, I think. Gentlemen, do I look sufficiently official now?
Yeah, you'll pass.
Good. Al, give me your gun.
What for?
Never mind, give it to me. Gentlemen, when a body is found with a bullet hole in the back, there must be a corresponding one in the coat. Here, put this coat on the body.
You sure think of everything, Chief.
Yes. It's the little things that count, my friend. Now let's all go into town. I'm very anxious to meet the local sheriff.
We're not going to leave the body here.
Of course not, you fool. We're going to leave it somewhere on the trail.
Report this to the sheriff.
I'm mighty glad the government finally sent someone out to deal with these counterfeiters, Mr. Collins. They've been getting away with their game long enough.
But they're not going to get away with it any longer. We must work closely together, Sheriff. I want you to report to me anything you learn about these criminals or their actions.
You can count on my full cooperation.
Yes, I think we'll make an excellent team, Sheriff.
Are you staying in town?
Yes, I'm registered at the hotel. But for obvious reasons, I don't want my identity disclosed.
Whatever you say.
I think that'd be best.
Well, I'll keep in touch with you.
I'll keep in touch with you, too. You can count on that.
Hello, Sheriff.
What is this, a holdup?
Hardly that. If we were, we wouldn't have come in here with our guns holstered.
Well, I reckon that makes sense. What do you want here, then?
Tonto and I have some information that might interest you.
I must say, this is the first time I've ever seen two men like you offering information to a sheriff. Tell me, is that mask some quaint Western custom I have as yet to hear about?
I wear this mask for a good reason. It helps me in my work.
And what might that be, if I'm not being too inquisitive?
I'm in the same business as the sheriff, bringing in criminals.
Well, that makes a whole carload of you. Mr. Collins here was sent out by the federal government to round up a gang of counterfeiters.
Is that so?
Is that the way you keep a confidence, Sheriff?
Yes. Huh?
I thought I made it clear to you I did not want my identity disclosed.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot.
I have good reason for wanting to remain anonymous. If you want to continue working with me, you must respect my wishes.
Well, I'm sure the sheriff meant no harm, Mr. Collins. You can rest assured that Tonto and I would never say or do anything that might help these counterfeiters.
We help you catch them if we can.
That's very kind of you, I'm sure. But we're dealing with a band of ruthless criminals. Catching them is no job for amateurs.
Is the leader of this gang Pierre Dumont?
Yes. Yes, how did you know that?
I think perhaps you'll be interested in these.
What are they, mister?
Some papers we took off a dead man a short while ago. They identify him as Dumont. Unless I'm mistaken, I think he's the man Mr. Collins is looking for.
Yes, he most certainly is. And if this man is Dumont, I owe you gentlemen an abject apology.
Have you ever seen Dumont before?
Yes, many times.
Good. Then you can make the identification certain.
I most certainly can. I've been after that man for a long time. A brilliant mind, I am compelled to say.
Where did you find the body?
Up in the hills at the end of a trail. He was shot in the back.
Ambushed?
Well, that's hard to say. It looked as though the body had been dragged there from some other spot.
He must have quarreled with some of the other members of his gang.
Well, let's all ride up there and have a look around.
There's no hurry about that, Sheriff. The important thing now is the proper identification of the body.
Maybe you're right. Where's the body now?
Oh, at the corners.
Let's all go over and have a look.
Tonto and I have some business to attend to. But we'll be back.
Well, I'll see you later.
If this man is Dumont, the government owes you a great vote of thanks. And you've saved me a lot of time and trouble personally.
I hope it's your man, Mr. Collins.
Yes. I'm almost sure that it is.
We go back where we...
Well,
That is Dumont.
are you sure?
No question whatever.
Well, that settles that.
I must get word of this to Washington at once.
Yeah, I got to get word to the local marshal.
Well, gentlemen, how did it go?
Perfect, Chief. We passed a half a dozen of the bills. Didn't have any trouble at all.
Excellent.
How did you make out with the sheriff?
Oh, that dumb fool, I've got him right in the palm of my hand.
What about Collins' body?
I'm happy to announce that Pierre Dumont is now officially dead.
Someone found the body, huh?
Yes, and I provided the final identification.
Ah, that's pretty good. You being able to clinch it.
Yes, I kind of like that touch myself.
What do we do now, Chief? Just keep on the way we were going?
Exactly. We couldn't be in a more perfect position.
Yeah. If anything goes wrong, you'll be the first one to hear of it.
This now also be in an ideal spot to deal with this problem.
I guess we're sitting pretty.
We are indeed.
Who's that?
I don't know. You two hide in the closet. Keep your ears open. Oh, the masked man. Come in.
We'd like to see you, Collins.
Well, if you'll gentlemen excuse me, I was just finishing shaving.
Right ahead.
I suppose you gentlemen have come by to find out about the body you found.
Not exactly. Of course, we'd like to know if it was Dumont.
No, it was, definitely.
I wonder who killed him and why.
But what difference does that make? Oh, Dumont's career is ended.
There's still the rest of the gang. We found their hideout today.
Oh, you did? Well, how very interesting. Tell me more.
In a cabin about 2 miles from where we found the body.
Murder done in cabin.
That's right. The body was carried to the place we found it. Whoever killed him apparently wanted the body to be found.
You quite sure about all this?
We follow signs. Them very plain.
We also found a suitcase full of money, like this. plates and ink to prove it's counterfeit.
Well, that looks very genuine.
It's an expert job. There's no doubt about that. Dumont was very clever.
Yes, my dear fellow. The man was a genius. I shall look this over carefully.
The rest of the gang is bound to come back to that cabin. If you move fast, there's a good chance to round them all up.
Yes, of course. An excellent idea.
Allow me.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. If this Dumont gang is destroyed, your government will owe you a great vote of thanks. Yes, gentlemen, I'm more than ever in your debt, and I shall have to find some way to repay you.
The only payment we want is to see the Dumont gang put out of business.
Since you're so interested in the case, I only think it's fair that you should be in on the kill.
We'll be glad to help you in any way we can.
Good. I think we should proceed to the cabin and try to trap the gang there.
We'll be ready at any time.
I have a report to finish, so if you don't mind, I'll meet you downstairs in 20 minutes.
We'll be waiting outside in the alley.
I don't think it's necessary to include the sheriff in this. I think the three of us can handle this together.
Whatever you say.
Well, did you hear?
Yeah. Who is that guy?
Some self-appointed agent of justice.
He sure has messed things up for us.
Not yet, my friend. I have ways of taking care of this.
You want us to trail him, Chief?
No, you go to the cabin. Get there as fast as you can. I'll arrive later with the masked man and his Indian friend. And then...
I get it. We'll be the welcoming committee.
Exactly. And I'll explain later to the sheriff that we merely ran into a trap.
Sounds all right.
Get going. How much farther is this place?
Just a short distance. We'll leave our horses here. I'll lead the way.
Tonto, you go first.
Me come last. Make sure nobody follow.
You ought to be coming along pretty quick now. Yeah, anytime. And remember, I'll take the engine, you take the man with the mask.
I got it.
Let him get right in front of the cabin. We don't want to miss.
And don't worry. I'm gonna miss. There it is.
Well, it certainly doesn't look like a criminal's hideout to me.
That's why Dumont chose it.
Well, what are we waiting for? The place looks empty.
It may look empty, but I don't think it is. I think it's a trap, Dumont.
Dumont? What do you mean?
The game's up, Dumont. We know who you are, and we're going to prove it. Take off your coat. Now put on this mask.
Why, this is outrageous. Do you realize that I'm an agent of the federal government?
I realize you're a very clever and dangerous criminal.
Just what do you expect to gain by this ridiculous performance?
It's very simple, Dumont. I believe you have men planted in that cabin to shoot me the moment I step into the clearing. But I'm not going to step into the clearing. You are. Your shirt and hat look a good deal like mine. This mask will do the rest.
It's absurd. You're just making a fool of yourself, and you pay for it.
If I've made a mistake, you have nothing to fear. Put it on. Tonto, wait a few minutes. Then you know what to do.
I wonder what's keeping him. It'll be along. Quit worrying. Hey, I thought I saw something moving at the edge of the clearing.
Why you worry so if you not Dumont?
There they are. Just coming out. I can't get a shot at the Indian. Never mind. The masked man first.
You keep moving.
Al! Don't shoot. It's me, Dumont.
That's all I wanted to hear. Drop your guns, both of you. You, drop it.
Not me, mister.
You all right, Kimasabi?
Couldn't be better, Tonto. Bring in Duma and we'll tie them all up.
Why? Well, Mr. Dumont, I hope you're getting used to a cell. You're going to see a lot of them.
I can't understand it. How did that masked man know that I was Dumont?
It was that perfume that gave you away.
The cologne.
That's right, when you were shaving.
You and your fancy tastes.
Well, it took a clever man to catch me. Whoever he is.
Yes, he's a Lone Ranger.